you're not Sean, are you?
No, I'm not Sean. Thank you for noticing.
Yeah.
Sean has graciously invited me to take you on a tour of La Cala de Mijas today. This is one of my stomping grounds. I don't live that far from here. I live in the next community called Riviera del Sol. So I am glad to have you in my car today, Alfredo.
Thanks. Hopefully I won't drive you mad like I do poor Sean asking silly questions. So La Cala de Mijas. La Cala means the beach of Mijas, which I'm just going to start off on a slight tangent. When I grew up here in the Costa del Sol in the 70s and 80s, this didn't exist, at least as far as I know. When I first moved back here in 2008, after being away for about a decade and a half,
yes,
somebody told me about La Cala de Mijas, and I thought, wait a minute, Mijas is a village up in the mountains. How could there be a beach for Mijas? So this is what we have here, and it turns out this is a hugely popular area. So tell me a little bit, who
certainly is.
Who lives here?
So you're absolutely right. This was an original fishing town, like a lot of the beachside communities. And you know what? This really offers a mix for everyone because, it's flat. So, for us older folks, when the knees start to go, it's a nice walk, nice gentle stroll to the beach. And you know what? There aren't a lot of communities actually that are beachside. So we have a beachside village on the south side of the A7, which we're going to see in a few minutes. And, as a result, and it being a flat walk, it's very attractive community, and it's in high demand for both holiday homes and also permanent residences.
And then on the other side of the road, it sort of sprawls right up into the mountains. So what started as a little village, seaside village, resorty type of thing,
correct,
is now spreads right up into all the golf courses. Is that right?
Well, exactly. So but you're still only a couple of minutes from the coast.
Where are we in relation to, say, for example, the airport, drive?
Yes. So we're about 20 minutes from the Malaga airport. This is a really nice location where to the east of us, we've got Fuengirola, which is a very nice Spanish community. And then about 20 minutes to the west of us, we have Marbella. So, we're situated right in the middle of both. Now, I did want to show you this and point out a few things here. Okay, so because again, we're parallel to the A7, but again, walking distance to the beach. We have a pedestrian walking path right in front of us, an overpass. Some nice little restaurants along here, a bit of everything. A nice wine bar called Bodeguita, and a little bit of traffic, but you can get your hair cut here as well, Alfredo.
That's good to know. I do a perm any minute now.
Good stuff. You could actually get a tattoo as well downstairs. So
okay,
perm
cool.
and a tattoo.
Perm and tattoo all at the same time. And so what nationalities live here? Are we talking just Spanish, British, mix?
Again, you have a mix. It's definitely very popular with British. But, when we go into the town itself, you'll see that it's a combination of both old Spanish charm and also a mix of new, modern wine bars, tapas bars, etc. So it really has something for everyone.
Okay, and then and the type of properties that you can get here, is it apartments, villas, townhouses, or what do you get here?
Yeah, again, I keep saying a mix, but it truly is. So, again, we have apartments, we have townhouses, and we have villas. So there really is something for everyone. And I'm going to take you now to show you, because it is such a high demand area, there's a lot of construction happening. So I'm going to show you some of the off-plan options that are currently available.
And most of these new developments, they're away from the beach, aren't they? Is that right? They're more up towards the hills?
Exactly. Because, of course, as everything, the building is moving inland or upwards. So you're absolutely right. So we're kind of heading to the hills.
Which is also like a bit of a golf haven, from what I understand.
That's right. And La Cala has several golf communities. We have got La Noria, which is a 9-hole, and then we've got Calanova. We have the La Cala Golf Resort, only a few minutes away. Santana is not too far, so certainly a lot of golf on your doorstep. So we're going to go up this way. So this is probably the closest off-plan community that's under construction, that's walking distance to the beach, although it is a bit of a walk, a little bit elevated. However, this is called Royal Palms. It's on our left here. And eventually, when this community is finished, there will be an entrance and an exit on the south side, so on the flatter side of this community. So the walk won't be quite as steep as the drive we're taking now.
Would I be right saying that as soon as you go inland a little bit, it's probably advisable to have a car?
Correct, exactly. But also Uber and Bolt are really inexpensive.
I mean, that applies anywhere on the coast, doesn't it? It's sort of a beach, and
Correct.
It kind of very quickly goes into the hills.
Exactly.
So that's no different really than anywhere else on the coast, really.
No, you're absolutely right.
This is it, right?
So this is Royal Palms. This is going to be a really lovely community. There are still a few properties left, probably starting about 500,000. But again, a really large community of apartments. Very, very ultra luxe.
And these little ones on the right, these little
So
townhouses.
these are little townhouses, correct? They've been here probably more on the original side.
Right, I got you.
And then a really nice community here on our right that was finished about 2-3 years ago called Casa Banderas, which is also very popular.
It's a little bit more on the modern side. Isn't it?
Very modern, really nice community. Lots of nice amenities in there. Beautiful views. So, we're going up there, up those hills.
Oh, I recognize that.
Yes, so this is Calanova Golf. So, a lot of really nice developments happening up here. I'm going to take you kind of a back way, so don't tell anyone. This is our secret.
This is a secret scoop. I've never been this way, actually.
Okay.
This definitely is a back way.
The road eventually will be a road, but it's a bit of a dirt track at the moment. So we're going to go this way.
So generally on the coast, you have like the beachside road, the beach road, if you like.
Yes.
And then there's there's some land and some developments and properties, and then you have like the motorway that's above there. And then there's some normally, as it expands, there's developments on the other side of the road. Is that the same?
Exactly. So this is Calanova Golf that we're heading up towards. Now below us, you see that. I'll show you that actually when we come back around.
Okay.
But that, I don't know if you were familiar with the La Cala de Mijas Music Festival that happened late last summer for 3 days.
Oh, yes.
3 days festival. This is the campgrounds.
Okay.
So you could actually have glamping here as well. So it is on the calendar for this year again. So it will be happening in August. So this is the Calanova Golf Course here on our right. Beautiful views from up here. You can see there's some construction, some flags. Point out some things just around this next corner.
And all of this falls under the La Cala de Mijas sort of area.
Yes,
right?
yes. But this area is probably the key area that's experiencing the most growth at the moment. Of course, it also has the most land available, so it makes sense. So here on our right is the first community. This is called Bahia. So you have properties in here probably starting about $350, although they are selling extremely quickly. So this is the Bahia, the view from Bahia. So you've got golf and mountain views primarily from these three. There's 6 blocks in total. 3 have more of the golf views. 3 have more of the mountain view. Right next door, this is Dream Golf. You can see the tower crane. So that's currently under construction. There's a couple of properties left in there, probably around the $250 and above price range. And then coming up here, this is the Ipanema development that's straight up with the tower cranes. That is currently under construction, well under construction. It'll be ready probably late this year.
What sort of prices, more or less, are we looking at for some of these units around here?
Yeah, so
What's the range?
kind of starting from $250 and above. The Bahia it's about $350 and up. The Ipanema here on our left is completely sold out. So of course, next will be some resales. We would imagine. There's some villas coming up here on our left called One Valley Residences. Those starting around $1 million.
Do you know, what are these things above us? These ones are already finished.
Yeah, so this is the La Cala Hill Club. Lovely views. We are heading up there because there's also development happening up there. And that's where I'd like us to stop and have a peek.
This one right in front of us, you said was...
This is Ipanema. This is completely sold out. We're going to go this way up.
Oh, there is a lot of progress on that, eh?
Yes. And you can see why. Look at the views that we have from
Wow.
here. Spectacular. and only about 5-6 minute drive down to the coast. So really not that far from all the amenities that you would need on a daily basis, and yet peace, tranquility, and absolutely stunning views from up here. So the One Valley villas are here on our left. So those are starting at about $1 million. So they're going to have nice sweeping views down to the sea. Below us, again, this is the La Cala Hill Club.
One Valley.
Yes, One Valley.
I thought you were saying valley as in
One
like a
Valley.
Valley.
And this is Alma here on our left, a nice boutique residence of 16 apartments.
Those terracotta ones up there?
No, here where the flag is. So it's
yes,
going to be in
yes,
front
yes.
of it.
Gotcha.
So south facing, really nice boutique residences, many that have their own private pools, as well as, of course, a share of the community pool. Really, really nice. There's a few units left in there, probably around the 600 and above. So this is the backside of the Ipanema development. Here's your La Cala Hill Club. Fantastic views from up there. Okay, now
These are all finished, aren't they?
Now these are all finished. They've been finished for many, many years, actually. But here is the new one that I want to show you, which is called Calanova Collection. And it's going to be here on our right. So this is actually just pre-launch at the moment. But again, because of the views and the location, the demand is extremely high. So here we are at the very top of the Calanova community. So below us, we've got the golf course. I mean, look at these views. It's all about these views from this location. Panoramic sea and mountain views. Golf course right below us. To the left, we've got the beautiful clubhouse. Great place to have lunch or brunch, for that matter, to enjoy the golf, enjoy the views. We've got a newer community called One Residences that finished last year, just outside of the Calanova Golf Club. The AP7 motorway. It's all happening right here, and yet we're only about 6 to 7 minutes to the coast and to the central community of La Cala de Mijas. So here we are at the height, the pinnacle of Calanova Golf. The views up here are absolutely spectacular. Lots of opportunity to, again, to purchase a holiday home or potentially a permanent residence up here. Now, straight in front of us, this is a newer completed development called One Heights, which is a sister or a brother to the residences that I pointed over here on the right, which is called One Residences. So you have One Heights and One Residences.
The name, because it's higher, no?
Exactly. And both really, really lovely communities, very ultra luxe inside, nice interiors, very spacious, and of course, spectacular views. So here...
So we are at the upper end.
We are at the upper end. Now we're going to start to make our way down to the beach and to where it's all happening, all the amenities, the lovely wine bars, of course, that I like to frequent now and then, not all the time. I am an Irish Canadian. So my parents are Irish, and I have as a result, thank goodness for them, God bless them, because I have an Irish passport, which allows me to live anywhere in the EU, of course. And I was born in the UK, so I can also have a British passport if I like. And of course, I have a Canadian passport. So I grew up primarily in Canada, a little bit in the States as a child, and then as an adult, I've lived in both California and Florida. So I've covered both coasts of the States. I've lived here now for 5 years. And what started out for myself, which is the same as for a lot of our clients, started out as potentially a holiday home that morphed into a permanent residence. I just decided I wanted to leave the rat race of Toronto behind, have a more quality of life. When I moved here, I have a mortgage on my own home, and my mortgage broker asked me if I would consider joining the team, as they didn't have a representative down here on the Costa del Sol. So I took on the challenge. I took the courses that were actually UK-based courses, 3 exams, and I was doing that for the first couple of years while I lived here. But I've been in sales my entire life, and I miss the day-to-day interaction with clients, with colleagues, getting out of the house, and and having just a little bit more social aspect to work. So hence when I met Sean, we hit it off really well. It's Sean and I, by the way, I don't know if you know this, a little tidbit, a little fun fact. Sean and I have the exact same birthday and the exact same year.
You could be twins.
We are. So we're twins separated at birth. So certainly with the number of properties that are currently under construction, there will be a demand and a need to have a local shop. However, at the moment, it's really only about 5-6 minutes, like I said, down to the coast, and probably even a little bit less to the first grocery store. So again, here on our right, I wanted to point this out because now we're a bit closer to it.
We came down from there on the right.
We were above, exactly. So this is the grounds for the concert. So the 3-day Mijas Music Festival happens here, where you can glamp to your heart's content. It looks like they're maybe even getting a little bit ready for it. A little bit of work in there. And just here as well is the La Noria golf course, which is a 9-hole golf course coming up on our right.
There's no issue parking here, is there?
Nope, you can park. Not a problem. But you can see that so once we've now kind of come down the hill, and the rest of the drive now into the beach and into all of these other residential communities is relatively flat, which makes La Cala quite a popular destination. From where we were at the top of Cala Nova, it's only about a 3 or 4 minute drive to the Cala Honda AP7 exit.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually quite convenient. It's just that you don't see it from there necessarily, but it's actually not that far.
Okay, so we've got a little gas station.
We have
here.
a gas station. We just passed a cute place to buy some plants, a nursery. That's the word I was looking for.
So you don't need to go into La Cala itself.
You don't
necessarily, unless you like to get stuff.
Well, you're absolutely right, because coming up here on our right is my favorite burger place called Dax Burgers, and there's
It's good, yeah.
Oh yes,
remember that.
it's a good. They make a mean burger, and they'll even deliver if you're in their area, especially with Glovo. So there it is. There's the Dax Burger, and you've got a nice Italian. You have a decoration store here. You've got some apartments here. Again, Aldi on our left, on our right, they're building Carrefour. So lots of things happening. Lots more, shopping available, amenities.
It is a very extended part of flat land compared to other parts of the coast where it kind of just directly goes in a hill all the way to the top, doesn't it?
Well, that's just it. And, it is a very, it is a steep hill at the top. However, it's also a gradual hill to get us to the top. So there's a bit of construction. So
this is basically the coast road, as we call it.
Yes.
Which is the entrance to La Cala itself.
Correct. I'm going to take us a different way because it just looks like there's a little bit of a traffic jam.
You do get a little bit of traffic. Don't want to be negative, but we do get a little bit of traffic in La Cala at certain times of the day.
Absolutely. And, rightfully so. You're going to find out why, because it really is so cute, so charming. And it's, there's very few communities that actually have a little village on the beach side that offers a lot of amenities. So, which makes La Cala, again, one of the most popular destinations for people that are here on holiday or as a permanent resident. So I'm going to take us another little secret way into the main village or town of La Cala. So on our right, I love pointing out this little park because there's loose chickens.
Loose chickens.
And that's not something that you see every day in Toronto.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing Sean isn't doing this because he's
afraid. He's afraid
of birds. He gets
birds.
nervous with birds, doesn't he?
Yeah. Okay, so now you can see we're going to go under this bridge.
Right.
Yes, this is the El Bombo area of La Cala. This is a lovely beach spot called El Bombo Beach. And there's a nice chiringuito here as well.
The Chiringuito is a beach restaurant.
Correct.
They normally do fish and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and they're cooking it right there on the beach. So look at this.
Wow, yeah. There we go.
All right, so I am taking you a secret way into the center of La Cala. So we are avoiding the A7 motorway and any traffic that's going to take the traditional way in. This is another lovely restaurant called Los Porches.
There are some properties here, though, right? Aren't there?
There are. So there's not a lot of beachfront communities, but here is one here. Exactly. This is Las Mimosas. All right, here we go. So we're kind of on the west end of the center of the town, but here it starts. So
wow.
here,
Okay, so
yeah.
this is like a little Spanish village.
It really is, and it's so cute. So, you know,
little tiny townhouses.
my goodness, and I mean, talk about prime real estate. You know, we're about second line beach here, so these properties, don't let it fool you. They are small, but they do command a good price. And in fact, there is a resale in one of these streets. If some of our clients are interested, actually, that they don't come up very often, but there is one at the moment. It's on the market at $650. It will need some reform work, but wow, what a steal to have second line beach and to be able to walk to all the amenities here in central La Cala.
I presume down here there must be amazing rental potential, no?
Rental, yep, rental. It would rent all year round, really, because this is a little town that doesn't sleep, just like New York City. So there's always something going on here, and they do have lots of festivals and events. So there's something happening all year, and for all age ranges, really. All right, so we're just gonna go again.
So now this is like the little back streets of La Cala.
Exactly. We'll be on the main street in a minute here.
These are lovely.
So cute, really nice, very charming, really nicely kept. And again,
and the beach, I mean, you can't appreciate it in the car from what you see it, but the beach is one row down.
That's
it's like this way. You can see it is 25 meters, 30 meters.
Exactly. So here we are. This is the main road of La Cala. So it really gives you a sense of the little hustle. It's a hustling and bustling little village, really.
So everything, just to put us in location, to the left is that coast road, and to the right of us right now, it's the actual villagey bit and the sea direction.
Correct.
Ahead of us, if we carried on going in that direction, it would be Fuengirola, Malaga, that direction, and behind us is Marbella direction. That was a good little back road that you took, though.
See how congested all that is? Yeah, because there's a lot of construction happening there. They're working on the entrance to the A7 as well, the motorway, and that's what's causing a lot of congestion.
I'm seeing a lot of, amongst the Spanish stuff, I'm seeing quite a lot of British sort of businesses, bars, restaurants, shops. Is there a lot of British?
Yes, British, Irish, but it really is a mix, as well as Dutch. Exactly. So it's a lovely mix because you've got some nice wine bars, some tapas restaurants, some places for great fish, and then you've got the chiringuitos on the beach. There's something here for everyone. You've got of course your Biddy Mulligan's, your Irish pub.
You got to have an Irish pub.
You have to have an Irish pub. So oftentimes, even though I live maybe 5-6 minutes from here, I will take an Uber in. It's maybe 6-7 euros, and it's worth it because of of the hassle of the parking potentially.
A lot of people park on the other side of the main road.
They will.
Sort of where I notice there's a lot of parking there, isn't there?
Well, there is, because it's an old fairgrounds, and actually they do have an open market there twice a week. So you can go and get your organic veggies if you like. And so people do park there and then just walk under the bridge. Absolutely. So to be honest with you, parking is really not that much of a challenge. It's just you have to maybe get a little bit creative.
Okay, so now we're beachside.
We are beachside.
This is La Cala de Mijas, beachside.
Beachside, beachfront. Now this, I like to always point out to my friends, is remnants of the Moors, right? So this was a Moorish tower. However, for my my fellow Seinfeld fanatics, like myself, they may recognize it as from the Moops. But look at this. It's Thursday morning, mid-morning. Look, it's already booming and bustling with people. It's such a great place to be. The promenade goes on for miles. Scattered chiringuitos along the beach. Playground for the kids. We just passed a little outdoor gym area. So here we are at one of the most fantastic beachfront chiringuitos here in La Cala called Ellas. And again, because this is my stomping grounds, you may find me on occasion in this place. So, hot day, cold beer, views of the sea, doesn't get any better than that. Massages here on the beach, again, right? Life doesn't get better than this. Have a little bit of lunch, have a massage, or vice versa. I mean, what else could you want? You're nice and relaxed. With this view, honestly, I mean, this is why we all live here, isn't it, Alfredo?
That's right.
So this is a very traditional way of cooking the fish on a spit, or a espeto in Spanish, here. So they would have the bricks and the coal and the wood and the flavors that the fish picks up from that. It's absolutely spectacular. I'm getting hungry talking about food. So this is La Cala. I hope you've enjoyed this little tour with myself and Alfredo. We have taken you up as far and as high as the Cala Nova golf course area, which of course is the area that's under the most expansion, because as you can see, everything here on the coast and close to the beach is pretty much developed at this point. Still some great resale opportunities. So here we are. You can see why it's so busy. We have a little bit of everything. We've got these fantastic chiringuitos to have a great lunch. We've got the remnants of the Moors, or the Moops for my Seinfeld friends, and it's a bit of Andalusian charm mixed with some real modern, lovely conveniences. So hope you'll join us soon. Alfredo, let's go and enjoy some lunch.